All right, so we are live, and what a year! What a year! And it's gonna be amazing. So this is the first live for the year, and I just decided to do that a few hours ago, and we're just gonna share with you a message as to what we're doing and what we're reading in this beautiful book on Sunday. So welcome, happy New Year for those who celebrated this amazing event. And it's a time of the year where so many actually go about deciding what to do over the next 12 months. But so many go about it the wrong way and nothing really happens. And suddenly you'll find yourself a month later with a membership here, a gym membership, this, that, a book that you're never really going to read. So I decided to create this free space where a lot of people, executives, managers, engineers, technical people, that can come in and we share a piece of knowledge. So that's going to be my invite to you. That's what I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to share with you a message. Then my goal is to invite you so that you can start showing up to level up yourself, your career, your group, your team, whatever that is. So we are at the cusp of a beginning of a new year. This 2026 is an important year because so many things are happening. And if you don't stay up with it, if you don't upgrade yourself, if you don't connect with the right people, it's not going to happen. So the message is going to be strong. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're prepared because we've been reading this amazing book by Napoleon Hill, who was mentored by Andrew Carnegie, one of my famous mentors. He's amazing. He was the first billionaires recorded, anyways, in the 19th century. And the information is so relevant today. So what I'm going to talk about is basically a few things, and that's going to set you to either you're going to move towards your goal or away from goal. So you see, most of us we're here and we want to go there, but how do you get to this goal? How do you get to that next level? How can you make this goal get closer? So these ideas will help you if you listen and if you actually do something about it. So get one of your favorite pens, get a piece of paper, and you might want to make some notes down because this is going to inspire you to do something you've never done before. But you got to listen and you got to pay attention. If you just kind of hang out and you don't listen and you don't do anything and information in, information out, you're probably going to be lost and you'll continue to be lost. So what I'm going to share with you, I've learned over the past 24 years. So it is critical and it is summarized and it's condensed to really get the point across solid. All right, solid. So in this chapter today and later on at 5 p.m. in 2 hours, where you're going to be invited, we're going to discuss the fears that people have when they set a goal. Like, why don't you go to the gym, for example? You say you want to go, but you don't. Why don't you finish reading the book? Like, it doesn't matter if it's a small book or if it's a big book. You say you're going to do it, but you don't do it. Why you fall out of love of somebody or you lose love of somebody and you get your life all messed up. uh, why are you so afraid from criticism, for example? Like so many people, right, are afraid from criticism, from speaking, or like I used to be afraid from going on live and going on cameras, but now I just go live. I just change my shirt, wash my face, boom, ready to go. But it didn't used to be like that. So why is there this thing about what others think of you that bothers you so much? And but why is this important? Well, this is important because if you're not if you're not achieving your goal, if you're not getting promoted, if you're not getting more in income, if you're not buying the homes you want, the cars you want, the friendships you want, something is missing. And what this information does, if you apply it into your life, is going to help you get it. So that's the invite to you. And that's why this message is going to be very, very strong and very needed for you right now during this time of the year. So, with that, I had released this to my private group where people actually come in and study with me the information. So I'm just going to share it with you the way it is. I'm going to let you listen to it. Let's see if we can get this thing to do it both ways, like that, or we can even make it just like big screen. And let's see what it does. I mean, I really want you to win. So pay attention, get a piece of paper and pen, and let's get started. Love this time of the year because so many are saying, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to read a book, I'm going to sign up to this, and nothing really happens. Listen, how many times you decided to improve your physical fitness? How many times you've bought that gym machine and didn't really go anywhere? How many times you wanted to change and didn't change? Why? because it's programmed in your lineage, and it's time for you to change. It's time for you to break loose, right? If you really want to move, you have to make a decision, and that decision is not made just by one day. It's made every day, and you have to reset it and move forward and take action, and you got to follow a path, and you got to follow a system and a process that's proven. Doing it by yourself is going to get you in the mess that you're in right now. Because this works, this process works. When I needed the help and I started following this system, the systematic study, the elite mentorship and accountability, I started getting results. As a matter of fact, hundreds of my clients have results. Executives, managers, engineers, a lot of analytical people. So if you want a path, if you want a system, if you want a process that works and that's easy to follow, that's not going to overconsume your life, this is it. And this is permanent because we get to the root cause of the problem. It's not complicated. I want to help you today make a decision that it's time for you to pivot for something better. Not just try a new fad, try a new pill, or try a new vitamin thing, or just start. No, this is going to be permanent. It's going to get to the root cause of why you're feeling the way you're feeling, why you're showing up the way you're showing up, why you're not happy, and how you can stop being miserable even though you're already abundant. And listen, most of us living in North America, here in the US, are much richer than everywhere else in the world. Much richer. We're considered like super rich. We're like kings and queens. But at the same time, 65% of retirees are broke. At the same time, depression, anxiety, people feeling sick are not feeling good. At the same time, people don't even want to go to their jobs. So we've built something special. We have a process, we have a path, we have a system that works. If you're tired of trial and error, if you're tired of just going to a webinar or a course or a book, this is going to get to the root cause. This will be the last thing you'll ever need. When my mentor told me, you are the problem and you are the only solution, I was like, what the heck? Of course I know I'm the problem, but what can I do about it? Then he told me the steps. He told me what to do to get out of it. But do you really accept that you are the problem and that you are the solution? And it's time for you to break the lineage of scarcity, poor, not educated, not having the job, not having the house. Isn't it time for you to start having more? Why should you just look around and see others with homes and cars, and yet you're still stuck with this little thing? There's so much programming that we need to let go of. I want you to sit around and tell yourself the truth. Sit around on a new place. Hopefully you have a spot. If you don't, come to my backyard. It's fine. You can sit in the backyard. It's a beautiful space. You can see the trees. You can see the birds. And I want you to tell yourself the truth. Are you happy where you are? You're an adult. You're a grown man and woman right now. Nobody else is around you. You are it. You're responsible for yourself. Nobody else is. Nobody cares. You might think they do. They don't. I want you to sit by yourself and ask yourself this question. Is this all there is to it? Get to the truth. I want you to remember who you really are. What are you meant to do? What's this purpose and where are you heading to? You're here and you want to go somewhere else. But what is it? Is it just another job? Is it just another investment? What is it you're searching for? So if you want to kind of figure these things out, now that you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, I can help you do it very quickly because the process works. And it works for everybody and anywhere if you're willing to do the work. Now, if you're not willing to do the work, it's not for you. Because this takes going deep, this takes going at a level where you've never gone before, and you got to follow some direction. So you got to start doing more, right? I remember this story with one of the seminars I was at, and this individual, Tony Robbins, was telling this lady, she was like, oh, I can't lose the weight, I don't know what's going on. And God bless her, right? She could have had something, but he said, what are you doing about it? She goes, I tried this, I tried this. I said, have you started walking yet? And she's like, no. I said, get walking, you gotta start walking. Like, people want to lose weight, people want to do stuff, but they don't do it. They keep eating, they don't go to the gym. Now, you do want to go to the gym, but you don't do it. So I remember him like raising his hands out and screaming after her like that. It was kind of funny, but at the same time, it's real. We know what to do, but we don't do it. How many books do you have that you bought and you thought they were good for you, and you just don't read them? And then even if you read them, you don't do anything about them. You don't do the actions that tells you to do. Now, this is not the real you. This is the old you sabotaging you from moving. So if you ever heard of these imposter syndrome, and if you ever heard of this, your old self and your new self, that's what's happening here. You might see something and you say, oh, I'd like to have that. But guess what? Your old you is not going to let you have it. Your old you is going to kick you in the butt and drag you down to your knees and give you something else and another distraction so you don't go after it. And you'll be back in the same spot in another month, and another month, and another month, and another year. And then you wake up and say, what the shit just happened? What is wrong with me? There is nothing wrong with you, my friend. You've just been polluted. You're programmed not the right way. We have to do some unlearning, relearning, and learning some new things, right? One of the things that I'm very good at is helping you find what is that thing that you need to do now to overcome the issue that you're having right now. And we do that by conversation. I figured out that I have a knack. I didn't know I have this knack, but I do. And when my mentor said, Kamal, you can start charging for this. And I'm like, are you real, Bob? This is Bob Proctor. He goes, yeah, you can charge. Look at me. He's making millions of dollars. I was like, Bob, I just need to help myself first. He goes, yeah, I get it. But you've already helped yourself. You already 3 times your income. You already got another investment. Why not help somebody else? And then I start thinking about it. And guess what? A few weeks later, I don't know how many, a friend of mine reached out and said, Kamal, I need help. I don't know what's going on. I need to do that. So anyways, he signed up, he paid, became a client, and now he is doing so much better. He's promoted, he's a director, he's got a new house, new car, new truck, new pool, and he's doing amazing. So is this the call for you to rise? Is this the day? Is this the time of the year for you to make that decision to say, you know what? I'm done crying and feeling miserable about myself, and I want to do something about it. Because if you're not getting dissatisfied with where you are, what's the push? What's the pull? How are we going to have something bigger than you to pull you towards it? You're going to need to have 2 things. You're either going to be really super fed up with where you are and who you are right now to go be somebody else, or we're going to have a goal, something inspiring, something scary, something exciting that you don't have. And then that thing is going to get you to wake up every day and do the things that you've never done before. Do the things that you've always been wanting to do, but you don't do. Do the things that you never thought you could do, but you start doing. I've had people sell things at the $100,000 level. I've helped people that actually start their own businesses. I've helped people publish their first books. I've helped people stop their divorce because they thought the other side was wrong. It was themselves. And guess what? At the same time, she 10 times her income. Her name is Lori Lincoln. Go look up somewhere on YouTube. This is the time to kill your old past life and start a new life. To start contributing to something much better than where you are right now. There is so much more. There's so much more for you. And the thing is, if that desire is in your mind, that desire is seeking expression through you. If you didn't meant to have it, it should not have come to you, that idea. Because there's a lot of ideas. But that idea came to you. And life is short. So stop waiting. Don't wait till you're 60, 70, 80. The time is now. I have a few clients in their 70s. I have a few clients in their 50s. A few clients in their 30s. So it doesn't matter how old you are. The key is, do you want a breakthrough? Do you want to overcome this thing that's you struggled with for so long? Do you sit there and crying to yourself and feeling miserable and say, God, help me? Well, he's not going to help you. You can call all you want until you start doing something about it. You got to take the action. You can pray all you want. There are a lot of people that are poor, but they pray, but nothing happens. Why? Because they don't believe. It's because there is no process. So we figured out this process. When I was in the hole and I needed help and I had to figure these things out, and there were scorpions, and there was death, and there was bad things, and that I needed help. I asked, I said, God, give me some help. And then he did. He put a ladder down. And this guy said, Kamal, I'll help you, but on one thing, if you do what I tell you to do. You gotta follow directions. You gotta become a good follower. So I became a good follower. Really good followers. I just follow. So if you want to become that better next leader, you have to become a good follower first. If you want to start having everybody find you and see you attractive and see you as that next level leader that you want to be, this is for you. The impression of increased lesson is phenomenal. If you're in that position where your team is falling apart, where nobody wants to work for you, you don't know how to give directions properly, and you're not inspiring your people to become the best version of themselves, guess what? This lesson is for you. This one lesson is probably worth $100,000, and you're never going to pay that much anyways. So it's not complicated. You're making it complicated by not making that decision to move forward on the best vision and the best version of you. And you're staying stuck with the old you. Well, guess what? Next year, this time, 2027, you'll be in the same spot. So it's time for you to make that decision that's going to move you forward. And you start making it every day. It's not just today. This will inspire you to make you feel good. Like, wow, this sounds good. But what you going to do tomorrow? What you going to do the day after? How are you going to stick to this goal? You're not going to do it by yourself. How do I know that? Because I've been there before. How many things you start and you stop, you start and you stop? How many things you know and you don't do? And we call that the knowing-doing gap. So like I said, it's like a map. And Steve Jobs said something brilliant. You cannot connect the dots forward. You could only connect them backwards. So if you want something that can help you fix things permanently once and for all, so you can start showing up better, so you can start feeling better, so you can find that next business, so you can increase your income, so you can increase your property, so you can find what's really missing. Why are you so unhappy with what you got? This is for you. It's very easy. You just have to say yes to yourself once and for all and come on board. I'd love to work with you if you are that determined. But if you're one of those dabblers and freebie seekers, you stay out there. There's a lot of them. What I call 99% of them are dabblers, right? There's only 1% in the world that are making the real money. The rest are just surviving. Surviving into safety, surviving into retiring and getting old, surviving into just kind of hanging out into your life. So I want to open your eyes. I want to open your eyes so you can pivot and pivot big this year in 2026. Make a decision once and for all. Life is short. You don't have tomorrow. You don't have tomorrow. You mean you go to church, you go to community, you hear people are dying every day. You think, oh, they have a heart attack. It might be you next week. And then what are you going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing you could do. So this is your day. This is your day to actually make things happen. This is the first week of the year where you can really make some basic big moves that would help you move the needle. But you don't want to do it by yourself. I'm going to finish with this story. You can't do this by yourself. You need a group. One of the key things about achieving big things is doing it with somebody who's done it before, doing it with somebody that have been there, doing it with a group and a community that is growing. Because by ourselves, we're alone. And it sucks. And the old you will sabotage you and take you back. One of the things that I learned from Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale and Bob Proctor is that masterminding. And when you get 2-3 people that are working on a big thing together, a huge energy comes in. Energy from, and it's going to help motivate you. It's going to help inspire you. You're going to share your wins. So masterminding to that next level is what's needed for that goal. It's part of the requirement. That's how you're going to learn the laws. I have many executives that they're like, man, what are these laws of the universe? Well, we can just study the laws of the universe. Because once you're working within the laws, you'll start winning. See, there's so many people out there now, accountants and tax collectors and all these people, that they're broke. Why? Because they might know numbers, they might have degrees, but they don't understand the laws. You see, I had 5 degrees, but I did not understand the laws. And there's certain laws for success. There's certain ways you're going to do certain things in a certain way. Wallace Wallace said you do things in a certain way. And once you start learning how to do things in a certain way, things will start happening. You will start rising. We will put away the old you and start with the new you every day. Don't do it alone. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Cheers for an amazing year. I want nothing but full success to each and every one of you. And I want you to break the lineage that's been really bad for your families. They have so many people that have never had anything before, their families and their parents, and now they've transformed. They became that next version of themselves. So if that's you, if you're an engineer, if you're a manager, if you're an executive that want to really level up, this is for you. I can't wait to speak with you. See you soon. Let's get started. All right. So, very strong message, and it really is meant to get you to move forward. And if you've listened, and if you're listening to this so far, I know this is for you. We're going to finish with this. I just received a beautiful gift from an amazing person who I helped a while ago, and I'm probably going to share that with you as well. But before I do that, just to remember, right? Right tonight at 5 p.m., we are continuing the read of this topic that you just heard about, and we're going to announce the next book that we're working on. So that's your invite. So that's what I mean. I show up very strong up front, giving you value way more than what you bargained for. So I want you to show up, because the next book we're studying and the next guests that are coming to the show and to the 5 p.m., they're going to just knock your socks off. So I hope this finds you well. This next thing I want to share with you, just a couple more minutes, just received this beautiful gift from one of my clients. So this is a shout out for Shannon Meadows Live. So thank you so much, Shannon. I really love it. This beautiful calendar. Shannon came to me maybe about a year ago or so, and she needs some help. So we met, we talked, we figured out where she's at, we figured out what she needs to do, and boom. And really, she was a very good student. Shannon was an incredible student. So that's why when I said earlier, this is not for the dabblers, it's really not for the dabblers. If you're a dabbler, this is not for you. This is meant for those who really want to work and do things at the right level. Okay, so that's the thing. Otherwise, you will not get the results, and you will not be winning. So Shannon came to me and I helped her fairly quickly. Very good student, and in pretty much under 30 days, maybe 40 days, she went on to be on stage with her art. She went on to put some of her art for sale, and you can see some of her art. She can actually do some private art for you as well. So, shout out to Shannon. Big shout out. I love this calendar. It's going to be significant because it will be right here helping us create. And that's the interesting part for this year as well. The word that I'm using for me is create. So, let's listen to what Shannon has to say, and then we'll end this live, and off we go. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do that, and here we go. Share. And so this is just a word from Shannon, just so you know what's possible for you.
Hi, my name is Shannon Meadows. I'm a painter. And I used to have this idea about goals that it was kind of like maybe I will reach my goal, and if I don't, it's not a big deal. So that's changed. Now I've kind of started embracing my goal, and when I think about it, it's like going home. It's like the best place, and I also bring the best version of myself there. So with Kamal, and through focusing on it, listening, reading, and especially feeling, which is something I was kind of missing, I can see myself reaching my goal, and I really want it, because it's become this very expansive kind of environment. And I no longer am like stuck with all of my excuses, like figuring out why it can't happen. I just think about, I want it to happen, and I'm going to get there. So thank you, Kamal. What a great program. I highly recommend it.
Hey everybody, Walton Goggins here, starting a...
All right. So that is the message from Shannon. So hopefully that inspired you to move, to at least show up to the three sides, and can't wait to speak with many of you. I've also put the website here, the engineering website. So this will get you started with another free course. Now, like I said, the value up front is worth tens of thousands of dollars if we can just shift one idea for you. So with that, much love. See some of you on 5 p.m., basically in about an hour or so, hour and a half. So talk soon. Mhm. Cheers.